Okay, so I had question number 2 with group B. I believe it's week 5. I went ahead and wrote down all the list it gives us for the problem, and I went ahead and sped up the video for you guys, so if it's moving a little faster than I'm talking or vice versa, sorry about that. But for the first one, A, I realized going backwards from 3 to 243, it's multiplying by 3. So flip it around to the normal side, it's dividing by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and then I went to decimals, and I think you're allowed to stop there, but I just kept going. But anyway, the pattern is divided by 3. And then for letter B, I went ahead and wrote down like all the differences I saw in the pattern, and I did 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 minus 1 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, 13 minus 1 is 12. So obviously that was the pattern, and so I kept going with the other numbers, 12 plus 5, 17, blah, blah, blah. And then for letter C, this was like a 2-layered problem, and I went ahead and wrote the differences again. So I saw 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 7 is 16, 16 plus 10 is 26, so on, so on. So I wrote all the differences out for me to like see if I could see anything. And obviously that's not the pattern, it's like straight up going by, that there's something with those adding numbers. And I realized that each time it was added by those numbers were added by 3, if that makes sense. So it's like the numbers go up by 3 each time it adds. I think that's how you would say it. Anyway, so like for instance, plus 13, you would add 3 and get plus 16 for the number sequence, so you take 39 plus 16. Next one is plus 19, so you do 55 plus 19. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And then for letter D, it was kind of doing the same thing, except instead of adding by 3 to the original adding numbers, it was multiplying them. So I wrote out the differences for the next one as well, and 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 9 is 13, 13 plus 27 is 40. And obviously with these numbers, hold on a second, there we go. Obviously with the numbers writing right now, you can tell that they're multiplying by 3 at this point. Like that, I mean, that was like question or sequence A in the beginning. Those were the same numbers. So I would just find the next 4 numbers by multiplying the adding numbers by 3 and then adding those numbers to the previous sequence number. Hopefully the drawing makes sense other than me talking about it. And then for E, this is where I took really long on these problems. Sorry about that. But I could not figure out what it was at first. Like, I couldn't find a pattern. Like, I was writing out the differences. There was nothing that made sense. And then I realized that it's like an equation almost. Like, if you do 3 plus 1, it equals 4. And then 1 plus 4 equals 5. So on, so on. 4 plus 5 equals 9. So basically, each number that's next to the sequence is the sum of like the 2 previous numbers. And it's writing it all out so you'll see. And the reason I found the next 4 numbers is by writing out everything. So like 23 plus 37 would get me the next number in the sequence, and then I'd use the next number in the sequence to get the next one, blah blah. So there you go, just take a look at that. And then for letter F, I again tried to find the differences and I couldn't find a difference. It's like, oh, this is weird, it's going positive, negative. So I just decided to get rid of the negatives for this one at first. I don't know if you're allowed to do that, but it helped me. So I just acted like all the numbers were positive, and I did it like a math problem again, like the previous one. So 7 plus 3 is 10, and then 3 plus 10 is 13. Oh, hold on, wait. There we go. Basically, yeah, I just like took the negatives out of the equation. So I was writing what I did basically in the previous problem, just adding them up like they're each an equation. So each number is the sum of the two previous numbers again. And once I found all the numbers for the sequence, I brought the next things down. They're alternating. I said that previously. I'm just waiting on it. There we go. I brought the next equations down for the next four numbers, and so it'd be 95, 154, 249, and then 403. Today. But I had to remember that it's alternating from positive and negative. So when I went and wrote back in these numbers, I made sure it followed that pattern. So 95 would be negative, and then 249 would be negative, so they each match the pattern. And that is all.